Welcome to Instant Trivia, episode 1851. Ready? Let's go. Which high woodwind instrument is known for its distinct, reedy tone and is commonly featured in orchestras and chamber music? Oboe. What type of vehicle was the Stutz Bearcat, produced from 1912 to 1925? Sports car. Who developed the Bessemer process, a revolutionary method for mass-producing steel in the 19th century? Sir Henry Bessemer. What is the name of the large display at a racetrack that shows betting odds and race results? Toteboard. What portable device, commonly used for both work and entertainment, features a built-in screen and keyboard? A laptop. What were the first names of the sibling duo famous for their close harmony hits in the 1950s and 1960s? Don and Phil. Which major global conflict ended with VJ Day, marking the end of hostilities in the Pacific Theater? World War II. In rodeo, which competitor uses a piggin string to tie a calf's feet? Calf roper, also called a tie-down roper. Which city is the southernmost to have hosted the Winter Olympic Games? Nagano, Japan. What term describes a nuclear reactor that produces more fissile material than it consumes? Breeder reactor. Which pioneering American filmmaker is often credited with popularizing the narrative feature film and is known for directing The Birth of a Nation? D.W. Griffith. Which two universities joined the Pac-10 to form the Pac-12? Utah and Colorado. Which Shakespeare play is set mostly in the Forest of Arden? As You Like It. Which popular candy bar, introduced in 1932, features a light, whipped nougat center coated in chocolate and is named after a famous literary trio? Three Musketeers. Which artist painted the famous 15th century mural, The Last Supper, depicting Jesus and his disciples gathered at a table? Answer: Leonardo da Vinci. Which book was at one point to be titled, in translation, 4.5 Years of Struggle Against Lies, Stupidity, and Cowardice? Mein Kampf. On the game show Quiz Show 21, what was the maximum number of points a contestant could earn in a single round? 21. Which 1925 musical features the song Tea for Two and centers on themes of love and financial misadventures? No, Nanette. What is the title of the critically acclaimed television series that follows a Baltimore homicide unit and examines the complexities of crime and justice? Homicide: Life on the Street. Which species is the smallest known frog in the world? Answer: Paedophorina moensis, a microhylid frog from Papua New Guinea. Which fast food chain used a chihuahua in its advertising and is known for its Mexican-inspired menu? Taco Bell. In which U.S. state is the city of Peoria, the county seat of Peoria County, located? Illinois. Which sport involves hitting a small ball into a series of holes in as few strokes as possible and originated in Scotland? Golf. What was the nickname of former Major League Baseball pitcher Jim Hunter? Catfish. Before his election as Pope Francis in 2013, Jorge Mario Bergoglio was Archbishop of which city? Buenos Aires. In which sport do women compete for the Courbillon Cup? Table tennis. Which Dutch city is known for its modern architecture and for having one of Europe's largest ports? Rotterdam. Which beef cut comes from the breast or lower chest and is often slow-cooked or smoked to become tender? Brisket. Which all-female group had a hit with the song Lost in Music? Sister Sledge. Whom did Winston Churchill describe as a modest little man with much to be modest about? Clement Attlee. In Peter Jackson's film adaptation of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings trilogy, which actress portrayed the elf Arwen? Liv Tyler. Which opera, completed in 1854, is the first of Richard Wagner's Ring cycle? Das Rheingold. Cassegrain, Gregorian, and Schmidt are all types of what kind of optical instrument? Telescope. Who at age 72 helped set a world water speed record of over 70 miles per hour with his hydrofoil? Alexander Graham Bell. Which insect order includes ants, bees, and wasps? Hymenoptera. Which element on the periodic table is the only one whose name begins with the letter X? Xenon. In which year was Bill Clinton first elected President of the United States? 1992. In which country did the Sockertorte, a famous chocolate cake, originate? Austria. In Star Trek, by what nickname is Dr. Leonard McCoy better known? Bones. In the Toy Story films, who originally owned Woody and Buzz Lightyear? Andy Davis, commonly known as Andy. Who was the king of Libya when it gained independence from Italy on December 24, 1951? King Idris I. Which temperance activist was famous for smashing saloons with a hatchet in the early 20th century? Carrie Nation. Which planned city, designed by Lucio Costa, serves as the capital of Brazil? Brasilia. Who was the lead guitarist for Led Zeppelin? Jimmy Page. Pika pika is the scientific name for which bird? The magpie, the Eurasian magpie, Which band scored a top 10 album with What's the Story, Morning Glory? Oasis. Which angel is known for interpreting visions and delivering messages in the Book of Daniel? Gabriel. Which actor, known for playing Marshall Will Kane in the classic Western High Noon, won 2 Academy Awards during his career? Gary Cooper. Which Spanish city is traditionally known for its manufacture of swords and knives? Toledo. What is the largest city and the political and economic center of Kuwait? Kuwait City. That's the end of the show. Thanks for playing. See you tomorrow.